want to change your results? Instead of feel, think, act, switch it back around, man. Keep those 3 words, just change the order up, you'll change your results. Okay, ATF time, man. Act, think, feel. So let me tell you how probably when the alarm clock went off this morning, this is probably how the process went. You felt a certain kind of way. So alarm clock goes off, you felt, you thought, and then you acted. So you felt a certain kind of way. So alarm clock goes off, you wake up, and here's where the feelings. You're tired, you're frustrated, it was a long month, it was a long day, whatever. So you felt a certain way. Then when you feel a certain kind of way, after the alarm clock goes off, then you start thinking about what you have to do today, what you got to do this week, how the month was last month. And then you start thinking about those things, and then you act. But the acting is normally a stalemate, it's a procrastinate, you debate, and you negotiate. And you probably, the acting that you did is probably comes a distant third. You probably talked yourself out of it. And that's a lot of times, man, why you're not getting the results that you want in your life is because your order is messed up. And I'm thinking, and I'm reading right now, Dr. Greg Wells' book called The Ripple Effect. And the ripple effect is just that, man. If you want to create change in your life, you have to create some new ripples in your life. And so Dr. Wells says if you want to change your results, man, then you got to change your physiology. And the way that you're going to change your physiology, man, and the physiology is that whole movement thing, then you got to change your order. So most of us have the FTA, feel, think, act. And if you want to change the results in your life, then you got to switch it to the ATF. And it's an easy acronym to think about, ATF, because that's the Action Jackson, man. That's where the ATF agents, man, they're all about that action, right? So you got to change, if you want to change your results, you got to go from FTA, feel, think, act, to act, think, feel, ATF. And so this is going to change things up for you. Episode 412 of The Sales Life, I talked about action cures all. And that's Tom Bilyeu's, one of the podcasts that I listen to. That's one of his favorite mantras is action cures all. Meaning that before you have a chance to negotiate and talk yourself out of something or debate or stalemate or procrastinate and start beating yourself up, before you have a chance to do that, then action cures all, ACA, man. Take action first, and then the feelings and everything come a distant second and the third. Think about this, dude. Think about how much more productive you would be if you took the mentality that you take when you swipe your credit card. All right? So let's go down credit card lane real quick. The jacket that you had to have, the vacation that you had to take, the shoes that you had to buy. You didn't have that much in your account, right? But you had enough on your credit card. And what did you do? You acted, man. You swiped first, and then you figured out how you're going to pay it later, right? That's what we do. Well, acting like that, man, that's what's going to get you deep into debt, and that is exactly what's going to get you into bankruptcy, okay? My hand's raised. But if you took that same sort of mentality that you do with your credit card and that swipe mentality, if you acted first, then you figured out and made the adjustments along the way, how much more productive would you be in your life, man? Act first, ATF, act, then think, then actually feel. So let's take the gym, for example. One reason why I subscribe to a virtual coach, man, that every morning, man, he's emailing me a new workout program. I'm sure me and thousands of others too. But what it is the workout program is already sent to me. So that process is there. So those days, man, that I don't feel like acting, because that process is right there, I force myself to take the action before I have a chance to talk myself out of it. There's many times, man, dude, I don't feel like going to run. Most days I don't feel like going to run. So I do the action first. I take action, and then I think, and then I feel. Because see, if you act, then you get to adjust your thinking. Your thinking has to line up with your action. And it's not that your thinking and your feeling are going to all of a sudden just fall right in line. They're not. Because your thoughts and your feelings are going to always try to tip the ship over. They're always going to, and it thinks it's the right side up. Your body is always going to try to go back to FTA. feel, think, and then act. The feelings, man, it's been a long week, man. Just lay up today. You can rest this day. Nobody's even gonna notice. The thoughts, man, and then the actions come a distant second from that. So this is why I give you permission when you have an ATF mentality. This is why I give you permission to dial it in. Yeah, you can dial it in today. If you want to go to the gym today, I want you to dial it in. If you don't feel like going to sell today, if you don't feel like going to work today, dial it in. I don't mean call it in. I mean dial it in. Because when you dial something in, at least you're still punching the buttons. So this is why I follow the workout coach. So when I dial it in and I don't feel like going to work out, I still have that process. See, when you can act, ATF, when you can act, think, feel, if you have a process that you're still following, then when you dial it in, dude, there are some days, man, I feel like Captain Hulk, man. I want to go in there and I want to buck them weights up. But there are other days also that I don't feel like it. I don't. But because I have a process, because I'm already acting, dude, I can have a 10-pound weight dumbbell. It don't matter, man, because I'm dialing it in. I'm doing the thing. So this is why I give you permission to dial it in. Same thing with sales, man. When you go to sales today, I get the fact you're going to get rejected all day long. So what we do, we show up to get rejected. Act, think, feel. Get in front of 2 customers. I get the fact, man, you're not Captain Flamboyance today. I get the fact that, you're not Terry Crews and you're going to make them chest pot. I get the fact of all that, man. That's all good in the hood. But if you get in front of 2 customers today, just that new business, then you can dial it in. See, you're acting, then you're thinking, then you're feeling. Because see, when you act, man, it gives you something different to actually think about. And when you can think differently, then you begin to feel differently also. ATF eliminates the "I'll get around to it" clause that we have in our lifetime contract with ourselves. It does. It does, because we're always living in the 8th day of the week, which is someday, right? Comes after Sunday. Someday I'm going to get around to it. Act, think, feel. See, it cauterizes all of those things. And so even when you're on an 0-5 streak in your life, man, ATF, act, think, feel. Because as I've said before, man, it is impossible to stay defeated or undefeated unless you allow it to be. Now, we all know we're not going to stay undefeated in life, but we think that we're going to stay defeated in life. You're not going to get defeated in life. The only way that you stay defeated is to stop acting. Act, think, feel. Act, think, feel. So in your mind today, man, that's what you want to do. ATF, act, think, feel. Act, think, feel. Act, think, feel. Because when you're on an 0-5 streak, man, and you start to feel your confidence start to slide, this is what I want you to sit there and nudge yourself, man. Act, think, feel. Don't go reminisce with nobody. Don't go tell somebody what your woes are. None of that's going to even matter. Act, think, feel. Think like you do with your credit card. You swipe, you act, and then you figure along the way. And the figuring along the way is making the small adjustments along the way also. Because when you act, confidence is a byproduct of your action. And many times, dude, we think that the confidence, we're just going to get bit with the confidence bug. That the confidence is going to bite us and then we're going to act. No, bro, it don't work that way. See, because confidence has to be earned, it's not given. Confidence is earned, it's not given, man. So if you want confidence, then you got to act. And that means, bro, that you have to go through the mud. That means sometimes that you have to incur many more losses. But as you act, think, feel, you're going to change the results and you're going to change the things along the way also. Act, think, feel, man. You have to think of these things as when you take action, it's not a switch. It's more of a soundboard. You know, when you go in those studios and those soundboards are like this and they dial up and down, if you got a fancy chandelier in your house and you can raise or lower or raise the intensity of the light itself, that's what act, think, feel is for you. So many times we act and we think, oh, it's supposed to be a switch, so my thoughts and my feelings are supposed to switch up. No, they're not. It's a slow, gradual thing is what it's going to do, because you got to remember the whole time, man, your body is trying to flip you over back to a FTA, a feel, think, then you act. And if act comes third, man, then you are at a loss. So when I get on a slick spot, man, Always act, think, feel, act, think, feel, act, think, feel. Because if I take the action, then I can make the adjustments along the way. See, if I act first, think about this today. If you act first, then what happens is it doesn't give you time to think. You really don't have time to think. When you act first, you have to rely on your training. You have to rely on those things that have already been ingrained in you. So when you act first, then your thoughts are a distant second, then all you can do is make adjustments along the way, okay? And then the feelings come a distant third. Think about athletes. Athletes, they don't have time to think when the ball is snapped, right? When they're coming down the court, they don't have time to think. They act, and then they make the adjustments. They're thinking as they're moving, and then they take the shot. The feelings come last. The feelings are of the aftermath. Now, the aftermath sometimes means that you didn't win. The aftermath means sometimes you missed. The aftermath sometimes means that you won also. But even if that is the case, man, when your feelings come as the aftermath, then you can assess what went right, what adjustments you need to make, and then you hurry up and act again. Okay? Don't right the ship. You want to change your results? Instead of feel, think, act, switch it back around, man. Keep those 3 words, just change the order up, you'll change your results. Okay? ATF time, man. Act, think, feel. Have an amazing day. Stay in the sales life.